Hello folks, Luther here. Going to cover our FSBO Finder software. So let me slide that in right here. This software searches the internet for homes that are listed for sale by owner. Now roughly 80% of homes sold are done through an agent. The remaining 20% are done through the owner. Now the agent, by capturing the owner, someone who wasn't going to use an agent, just going to add more money to the bottom line. They know that these are people selling their homes. They're doing it by themselves. And the majority of those are going to be people who don't have experience selling homes. A strong portion of those are going to be people who don't have any experience. So they're not going to know the ins and outs of selling a home. They might have some idea, they might have read a book or two, but these people will be the target audience for a real estate agent to try and basically turn them from someone who wasn't going to use an agent into someone who's going to use them. The first step along that line is finding homes that are actually listed for sale by owner. And that's what the software is going to do for us. What we could do is search by listing ID, county, city, zip code, state, and then here we specify the amount of pages that we want to search. What's sufficient enough for searching is using just a zip code, although you could use a state and a city, and state will produce a lot of results. But a zip code is usually what we want to search for, because there's a particular area of service that a realty agent might be servicing. We can also search by beds and baths, although this information is returned, so it's really kind of optional. But if you did want to use these forms, or if you did want to use these fields, just make sure you click include beds and include baths. So let's pick a zip code to search, and I'll show you how it works. So I've chosen a zip in Chicago, Illinois, one of my favorite cities, and we'll go ahead and click search. The software will report that it's beginning its search and that it's finding some records. It'll begin to build a list of results, and then once that list of results is built, it'll start compiling those results, and then it will process them. And as it processes them, this will count up. Now it can take a few seconds per list to compile. So basically what I would do is let this run, get some coffee, take a walk, or go work on something else, leave this in the background, and let it finish. The more pages you select to search over here in the Max Pages field, the longer this will be. Now I've tried to keep this down as short as possible. However, we want to be gentle on our information sources. We also want to be gentle on our computer and make sure that we process results efficiently. We'll go ahead and let this finish, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, just about done. Only took a few seconds per record, so that's not so bad. So when this is finished, it'll give me an indication, that it is tabulating the results. It'll throw a pop-up and let you know that the operation is complete. So now, it will say stop, but your results are still not saved. You have to click over here and hit save. And what that will do is save the results to your desktop to the FSBO output folder. Let's go have a look. Okay, so here's our results. You see we got their title listing, the URL, the listing ID, and the last time it was posted, the listing ID and the age, the price, the physical address, the city, the state, the zip, the number of beds and baths. The homeowner's name will be here if the list is populated. Also the telephone number if it's there. But now while I got you there, these telephone numbers are generally on the do not call list. They're not something I suggest you even go after. If they do appear here, it's just not wise. But these are the results. And essentially you would use these results to populate a mailing campaign, direct letter, to these homeowners, compelling them to use the real estate agent. Real simple lead generation right here with a targeted audience. Now here's the trick. See, some of these here are listed 16 days, 33 days, 2 days. They're newer listings. Now these older listings, if they're not sold, these people want to sell their home, but it's taking months and months to do it. Maybe they need someone, an expert, a professional, an agent to help. These people are a prime target to be marketed and to be sold on a realty agent's services and expertise. One thing I'll say is that the file saves as a zip code. So That's why it's kind of important to use a zip code. If you want to search an area, it'll search around the area of a zip code, but it's best to put the zip code in there always so that you always have a nice ordered file so that you know these are the results from this zip code and surrounding area. Some of the other features inside here includes a usage guide, put some simple instructions in here, also tells you your version just to help you with the software. An update check to make sure that you have the latest version. This will let you know. And then lastly, registration. I appreciate if you kindly register your software. It's free and you only need to do it once. Now, lastly, the buttons and just a couple of use case scenarios to cover here. When we're finished with a search, we want to start again. We hit reset. Now, let's say we do a search and the program is running, finding results, and midway we decide that, we don't really want to search this area anymore. We want to search somewhere else. So what you would do is you would go ahead and hit stop. Now I want to let this get 1 or 2 results inside because I'll show you the stopping process. But once you decide that you want to stop the software, you hit stop. It'll let you know that it's stopping, and then it will tabulate any results that it found and processed. So it still prepares to give you some data if you stop it midway through your search. So what you would do is, once you cleared that pop-up, you would hit save. And then it'll save to your desktop folder. And then it'll save to your output folder with the zip code and the file name. And then you hit reset, and it'll clear the results for us again. And that's it, folks. The software will go out and find the addresses for these for sale by owner homes, and these will essentially be targeted leads for realty agents